If you're new to running, here's something nobody tells you on day one. The shoe matters more than the app, more than the playlist, more than that motivational poster in your gym. The wrong shoe won't just make running feel harder than it should. It can genuinely lead to shin pain, blisters, or knee discomfort within the first few weeks. The kind of setback that convinces people running just isn't for them, when really, it was just the foam underneath them that wasn't built for a beginner's stride. So someone pulled 8 of the best-rated beginner-friendly daily trainers, sent them to a lab, and measured exactly what makes a shoe forgiving enough for someone just starting out. Cushioning, weight, flexibility, breathability, and even checked how stiff some of these get when they get cold. 8 shoes, ranked from best to still good, just not quite there. Puma Velocity Nitro 4. This shoe elevates the term beginner-friendly from a basic classification to a genuine compliment. Puma stripped out the old dual foam setup and dropped in a single, simplified nitro foam that pushed energy return up to 67.5%, while keeping the whole shoe under 225 grams. For someone new to running, that's a rare combo. Light enough that your legs don't feel like they're dragging extra weight, but bouncy enough that easy miles don't feel like a grind. The Puma Grip outsole also tested near the top of every shoe we've measured for wet weather grip, so slippery sidewalks won't end your morning run early. At $140, this is genuinely one of the better price-to-performance daily trainers a new runner can buy. The only catch is breathability sits just average, so summer runs will feel warmer than you'd like. Saucony Ride 19. If the Velocity Nitro 4 is about staying light, the Ride 19 takes the opposite approach. Maximum cushioning, maximum stability, and a stack height pushing close to 39 millimeters under the heel. That's serious protection for new runners whose joints aren't used to repetitive impact yet, and the upper breathability scored a perfect 5 out of 5 in our testing, so hot weather is a non-issue. The trade-off is weight. This version gained noticeably over its predecessor, landing close to 280 grams, and the stiffness jumped by over 70% compared to last year's model. For a beginner doing slow, easy miles, that extra structure can actually be a plus. But if you want something that feels lighter underfoot, keep that in mind. Saucony Ride 17. 2 generations back and somehow still holding strong on this list. The Ride 17 doesn't try to reinvent anything. It's the dependable, no-surprises option that just gets the job done, with solid cushioning and some of the best outsole durability we've tested in any daily trainer at this price. For beginners, that durability matters more than people realize. You're not replacing this shoe every 2 months. The downside is breathability, which scored a disappointing 2 out of 5 in our lab. Useful information if you tend to run in the heat. And the toe box tapers more aggressively than most, so runners with wider feet might feel pinched up front. ASICS GT 2014. This is ASICS' classic stability shoe, and for new runners still figuring out their natural stride, that built-in guidance can quietly prevent a lot of common injuries. The new FF Blast Max foam bumped energy return up from previous versions, finally giving this shoe a bit of life instead of feeling like you're running on a brick. Durability is outstanding across the board. The outsole barely showed any wear in our testing, and the price hasn't budged despite the upgrade. The catch is the fit. The toe box measured among the narrowest we've recorded, so if your feet run wide, this stability shoe might start feeling like a stability problem of its own. Hoka Mach 6. Here's the lightest shoe on this entire list, and it's not particularly close. Weighing just over 230 grams, the Mach 6 offers an almost weightless feel, yet it remarkably maintains a stack height over 36 millimeters and an energy return exceeding 65%, an impressive combination of features that shouldn't really go together, but somehow does here. Breathability is a perfect 5 out of 5, and despite a narrow build, our stability testing found it surprisingly secure underfoot for a shoe this size. The real weakness shows up in durability. The heel padding scored the lowest result we've recorded for this kind of wear test. So if you're someone who burns through shoes quickly, that's worth knowing up front. Still, for a beginner who wants to feel fast without feeling punished afterward, this is hard to beat. Brooks Launch 12. At $120, this is the cheapest shoe on the entire list, and it earns that price tag honestly. Brooks kept the stack height low and the ride genuinely old school, less foam, more ground feel, which actually works in a beginner's favor by building stride awareness instead of masking it with cushioning. It's also remarkably flexible and one of the lightest shoes here, with breathability that scored a perfect 5 out of 5. The trade-off is fit. The toe box measured among the most cramped we've tested, both in width and vertical height, so this shoe rewards narrow feet and punishes wide ones. If your feet fit the shape though, it's nearly impossible to beat this value. ASICS GT 2013. We've dubbed this the Toyota Corolla of running shoes, and that's a genuine compliment, not a knock. It's not exciting, energy return measured as the lowest of any shoe on this list, but it's relentlessly dependable, with 5-star durability results in nearly every category we tested, and a wide, supportive platform that's ideal for runners who need a bit of structure while they build up mileage. For a true beginner who values not getting injured over feeling fast, this is a completely reasonable choice. Just don't expect any spring in your step. That's not what this shoe is here to do. Saucony Ride 18. Closing out the list is the shoe that fixed almost everything wrong with its predecessor. Saucony shaved real weight off this version, dropping it down to about 255 grams while keeping breathability at a perfect 5 out of 5 and flexibility impressively loose for easy, natural-feeling runs. The midsole tests firmer than most on this list, so if you're expecting a plush, marshmallow ride, this isn't it. But for beginners who want a stable, predictable platform without extra bulk, that firmness translates into a shoe that won't wobble under you. The only real complaints are a narrower toe box and outsole rubber that doesn't cover quite as much ground as we'd like, but for the price, it's a smart, low-risk pick to start your running journey on. So here's the real takeaway. The ideal shoe isn't one size fits all, and the best shoe on this list might be the wrong shoe for you specifically. If you're on a tight budget, the Brooks Launch 12 and the Saucony Ride 17 both deliver serious value without cutting corners on the things that actually matter for a beginner. If your feet run wide, skip the Launch 12 and the GT 2014 entirely. Their narrow toe boxes will fight you on every run. And look instead at the Ride 19 or the Ride 18, both of which fit a broader range of foot shapes. If you mostly run in hot climates, breathability should be your first filter. The Mach 6, the Launch 12, and both Ride 18 and 19 all scored a perfect 5 out of 5, while the Ride 17 and the GT 2000 shoes will leave your feet noticeably warmer. And here's something worth planning for. The shoe that's right for your first month of running might not be the shoe you need 6 months from now. As your stride strengthens and your mileage grows, many runners shift from a max-cushioned, protective shoe towards something lighter and more responsive. So don't be surprised if the shoe you buy today isn't the one you're still wearing by the end of the year. And that's not a failure, that's just progress. And that's 8 of the best-rated beginner running shoes on the market, ranked from the one that gets nearly everything right to the one that's still solid, just a little less complete. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and let us know in the comments which one you're starting your running journey with, and what matters most to you: budget, fit, or just staying cool out there.